Alright guys, this is Fox from ForgeCast bringing you Game 2 of Kit and I's Sealed Deck Challenge. And Kit's on the other side of the line, and so we will have commentary throughout the game, so let's get started.
Alright, looking forward to getting beat again.
Hey, aggro decks are good.
I hear that is the case. Alright, so I get to go first for once. And I'm not too happy about what I'm seeing in my hand. But it's very clear what card it is I need to play. So I will be playing that.
Alright, so this makes me unhappy that I won't be able to deal with it this turn. I mean, I could, but I don't think that's the correct play. Because I would have to essentially, spend my entire turn doing that, and that gives him more time to do other things. So what I want to do is I want to start presenting a clock. And so I'm going to play a good recursive threat in front of this Oracle, and get a haste creature on the board, and start dealing him damage.
Ouch. Alright, so I'm going to put... I'm going to put, with all the cards in my hand not being able to kill it, even if I double chump it, I'm just going to put 2 Technosmiths in front of it and at least level my entire hand this turn, putting me ahead in the future and making him not sure of what I'm going to level. It really sucks because he's going to be drastically ahead on board at the end of his turn, and I'm not sure that I'll be able to recover from that, but hands are hands.
So I'm hitting battle first because nothing I do will change battle that turn. I would like to level this card, but that's not really an option. And I don't particularly want to level this card this turn. There's still a chance I can see another one. Instead, what I want to do is I just want to keep my board full of threats that scale very, very well at levels 1 and 2.
That they do. Alright, so I'm going to organize my play so that my cards survive through the turn. I could actually play better cards for the matchup, at least instead of the Steel Shaper, but this will at least kill his 2 and leave me with creatures on the board, which is exactly what I need to do in this matchup. So that's why I made my decisions that way.
Alright, now here's another turn where I do have some interesting choices. First off, no matter what I do, he's going to take 9 damage, so I'm going to go ahead and have that happen. Second off, I want to leave this lane open for now, just because the potential of drawing a haste creature is pretty important, and I want to get these 2 cards over here leveled. Actually, I do want to get this leveled, so I'll leave this card for now, because this card's always going to be good, and I'm just going to play these in front of his 2 creatures, and pass the turn back.
Yuck! Alright, so that is of course not what I wanted to see. My deck is very weak in player level 1 and is very hard to deal with cards like Riftlasher. Most of my cards don't have the power to deal with creatures with 5 toughness until I hit level 2. So this is hard for me to recover from. No, I didn't put it in that lane. Oh, that's unfortunate. I put the Death Seeker in lane 4, but I got the pop-up message error communicating, and then it dropped it in lane 3. I swear that's actually what happened. It wasn't a misclick. I would admit it if I misclicked.
Sure.
So anywho, that happened, and I guess now I have to recover as best I can from that. I feel that... no, I'm just going to put the Steel Shaper in front of your Flesh Fiend. I know you'll get a trigger off that Riftlasher, which I was hoping to prevent, but either way, you're only going to be able to hit my Death Seeker with it, and I'm okay with that.
I only got 1 damage from my Giant, and that's sad. So this is a May trigger, but I think I still will have it do the damage to the Death Seeker because this is a prime time to level this Bone Scythe Reaver. So I'll go ahead and hit battle. And, pop the Deathseeker. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Flamestoke Shaman down into lane 4, which is another card that he's going to really, really want to deal with.
And the misplay gods have recognized that I was faithful to my misplay, or not misplay, but game bug, but you know how it is, and they are granting me a very timely epidemic.
That was a timely epidemic.
Very mandatory for me recovering from this game. So for the first time in both games, I'm actually ahead, just straight up, really ahead on board, and hopefully I can press that advantage.
So here's a turn where I'm just going to play this in front of his Grimgaunt. And I'm going to get another powerful card on the board. And I don't mind taking 2, because I have to now recover from what he's done.
Yay, Armored Grimgaunts!
Now the funny thing is, I actually don't care about that. Because I have a very, very good play here this turn. In that I can just Bone Scythe Reaver it away and eat his other creature for free. No matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to kill this Steel Shaper this turn, so I'm not going to worry about it until post-combat. So I'm going to hit battle, and then I'm going to put a Flesh Fiend 2 in front of it.
Ooh, that's rough. Alright, well, I will play the cards that are hardest for you to deal with and stack the armor on my Savant so at least trades over 2 turns, potentially being even better than that if I only draw level 1s again next turn. Actually, no, it'll just flat out trade over the 2 turns. I forgot. Gets to attack back on his turn.
Mm-hmm. That being said, I have 2 extremely powerful cards that I want to get down this turn. And so I want to get this Flamestoke down into lane 2 because it presents a lot of issues for him. This Flesh Fiend will just come back, as a level 1. And then I can get this Flame Shaper Savant down on the board, which allows me to start upgrading a lot of things against him.
Yuck. Alright, well, the way I'm going to play my turn is going to prevent him from getting a level 2 creature with haste through on the board. I'm going to block his Shaman and block lane 3. He would have to play 2 level 1 creatures in order to kill my Sentry. And get a creature through on that side. I feel like I'm okay with that. Alternatively, the other card he could play is, say, Urantible, and at this point I'm okay with him leveling spells over creatures. We're starting to get to the point where my deck is starting to creep up to his deck's power level, and the longer the game goes, especially with us about to hit level 3 and me playing a Titan, the more likely it is I'm to win. So we're going to go the route that negates his Flamestoke Shaman without him playing a spell.
That being said, he is going to take 11 damage on his turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play a good threat to haste that at least kills what he's got without dying, and get another good recursive threat onto the field and leveled before we move to the next level. Now that means I didn't get any Flame Shaper triggers that turn, which is unfortunate, but I'm fine with it.
Alrighty, so I'm going to spend my turn winning the game by dropping a Scrapforged Titan and at least getting rid of the Volcanic Giant. Pretty much Scrapforged Titan is unanswerable by his deck. The most he can hope to do is draw repeated Uranti Bolts or race me. So that's likely what he'll be spending his time doing. And he might do a very good job of racing me.
Uh-huh. That turn there, Graveborn Glutton deals him damage when it dies, And Volcanic Giant will deal him a lot of damage over the next couple turns.
That it will. Interesting.
Now this turn he opted to take quite a lot of damage, which puts him very close to dead. So what I want to do here this turn is I actually want to do a bit of math. Amazing, I know.
There's no math in this game.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm going to play this level 3 that I drew. Now when this gets a trigger, it deals 6 damage to him, and he's already going to take 15. So I can put him very, very close to dead this turn by just chump blocking this Scrapforged Titan and dealing the damage directly to him. So I'm very, very close to just racing him to death. And he has to kill my Flame Shaper this turn, otherwise one trigger kills him.
And unfortunately, I don't have the ability to kill the Flame Shaper. It was the perfect card for him to draw in the situation. So I will go ahead and deal you my 20 and then die on your turn, sir.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, despite the fact that there's a level 3 Flamestoke in my hand, I'm just going to play this Glutton in front of the Scrapforge and ping him for 6. And put him to exactly dead. So, good game, Kit.
Likewise. Things that I learned from that matchup and from Limited in general there is cards like Munitions Drone are very, very high penalty cards. While they seem good in theory, they're not really going to match up well in a stall deck, even if it helps you trade with cards that you normally can't. I put them there under the impression that, you know, my Forge Plate can't kill a card with 6 or 7 toughness, but with a Munitions Drone it can. And the problem is when you're playing against aggressive decks, you're never ahead enough on board that you can afford to play a card like that, and that puts you severely behind. Beyond that, I need to aggressively level cards like Grave Pact more so I can deal with those giants that are high toughness. Actually did quite a lot of damage to me that game just from the giants alone. I need to focus less on leveling cards with Technosmith and more on getting to the late game. The levels will come with it, and only take those opportunities 1 or 2 times.
Also, this game was actually a very good demonstration of the power level of the Savants in Limited. Had I not drawn that Savant, it was very unlikely that I would win the game. But because I drew it, it actually provided me with the last 12 points of damage that I need to deal.
That is correct. And similarly, without the Bone Scythe Reaver, I know that the Grimgaunt was on the offensive, but without the Bone Scythe Reaver, it would become increasingly hard to deal with the threat that was constantly getting pumped with armor. The fact that he was able to deal with the card I was pouring that armor into instantly without losing a card just shows the power of Bone Scythe Reaver. It's a very, very, very strong card in Limited. It is virtually unrestricted removal.
Exactly. So, for that, we hope you've learned a good amount as we have today, and we hope that you all participate in the sealed deck extravaganza that Forge Watch will be hosting this week.
The link to that will be below the video, so please do look for that.
And we would like to let you all know that we will have our first episode of the podcast out later this week, Thursday to be precise. And so we hope you all tune in for that, and you all have a great week.
Yep, goodbye guys, see you in the tournament, hope you're there.